Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. We've got quite a stack here today: guides, videos, even some Reddit chats, all focused on one thing: using meta ads, so Facebook and Instagram, for local business leads.
That's right. And what we're really trying to unpack here is how you, if you run a professional service business, could be roofing, contracting, maybe a chiropractor, dentist, you name it, how you can actually use these digital ads on Meta to get a predictable flow of new business. It's about attracting customers right in your area.
So let's jump right in. Why Meta? Why is it such a go-to for finding local customers?
Well, the biggest reason is simple. Your customers are already spending time there daily, scrolling Facebook, checking Instagram. It's where they are.
Okay, that makes sense.
And honestly, the platforms themselves have made generating leads, the actual process, surprisingly straightforward.
Easier than trying to reach everyone nationally, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. For a local business focusing on an audience of maybe, say, 500,000 to 1.5 million people in your specific service area, that's just way more manageable.
Right, less noise.
Exactly. And usually less competition locally, too. So it's easier to kind of stand out, be a leader in your town or region. Plus, you can build trust more easily when you're speaking directly to your local community.
Okay, so they're there. It's simpler, less competitive. Makes sense. How do you actually get started? The sources mentioned Facebook Ads Manager.
Yep, that's where it begins. You create a new campaign, and the key thing is selecting the lead's objective. That tells Meta what you're aiming for, getting contact info, or starting a conversation.
And you want the manual option.
Yeah, the sources recommend going with a manual lead campaign. It just gives you a bit more control over everything, rather than letting Meta automate too much right away.
Control's good. What about naming? Seems trivial, but the sources mention it.
Yeah, keep it organized. Something clear like your company name leads, your niche test version helps you track things later.
Okay.
And definitely turn on Advantage campaign budget. You set a daily budget, say $100, just as an example, and Meta's AI will work out how to best spend that money across your different ads to get you the most leads.
And optimize for volume.
For starting out, yeah, optimizing for highest volume is often the simplest way and can get you good results without overcomplicating things.
Got it. So campaign setup, budgets optimizing. How do you nail the local part? The targeting.
Right, targeting is key. You need to focus squarely on your service area. You can search for specific cities, towns, postcodes, or even literally drop a pin on the map and target like a 10-kilometer radius around your office.
Dropping a pin, that's pretty specific.
Yeah, and you'll want to adjust the age range too. If your customers are typically, say, over 30, set the minimum age to 30 or 35. Maybe 35, 60, depending on what you offer.
Now, I saw something interesting. The sources suggested maybe not layering on lots of interest for local.
That's a great point. Yeah, surprisingly, for many local campaigns, especially if you've got a decent age range set, leaving the detailed interest targeting fairly open can actually work better.
Really? Why is that?
Well, if you restrict it too much locally, you might just end up increasing your cost per lead because Meta has fewer people to work with. Let the location and age do the heavy lifting first.
But what about getting leads from outside the area? I saw that mentioned as a challenge.
That can happen sometimes. Meta might push the boundaries a bit. The fix is often to add really clear location mentions in your ad text serving the Anytown area, or put a qualifying question right in your lead form, like, do you live within our service area? Yes, no.
Okay, makes sense. Let's talk ads, the actual images and text. Dynamic creative came up a lot.
Yeah, dynamic creative is pretty powerful for this. You enable it, and then you can upload a bunch of different assets, multiple images or videos, several headlines, different text descriptions, calls to action.
And Meta mixes and matches.
Exactly. It tests all the combinations automatically and figures out which ones resonate best with your audience, saves you a ton of manual testing. Learn more is a common call to action that works well.
And a type of lead ad. Forms, messages.
Right, several options. Instant forms are common. The user fills out the form right there on Facebook or Instagram, often gets you higher volume, but maybe sometimes the lead quality isn't quite as high because it's so easy.
Lower intent, maybe.
Potentially. Then you've got messaging ads, driving people to Messenger or Instagram DMs, which is great for starting conversations. And calling ads, prompting a direct phone call. There's also dynamic ads for lead gen. This is cool for businesses with inventory, like car dealers or RV places. You connect your product catalog, show specific cars or RVs in the ad, and people can sign up for a test drive or request info right from that ad using an instant form. That can actually boost quality because it's so specific.
So that leads to the quality discussion. Instant forms mean volume, but maybe website leads or calls are better.
That's often the case, yeah. Someone who takes the extra step to go to your website and fill out a form or picks up the phone, that usually signals stronger intent, even if you get fewer of them.
Which means tracking is super important.
Non-negotiable. You absolutely must have your metapixels set up correctly on your website. And you need to define your conversion events, what counts as a success. Is it a lead form submission? Is it an invite meeting scheduled?
And tracking calls, how does that work?
You need extra tools for that. Things like CallRail can track phone calls that come specifically from your ads, or Calendly for tracking online bookings. Then you connect these tools back to your metapixel.
So you can tell Meta, hey, optimize for actual booked appointments, not just any form fill.
Precisely. You optimize for the highest quality conversion events you can track.
Okay, campaigns running, targeting's dialed in, tracking set up. But the sources were clear, right? The real work starts after you get the lead.
This is probably the most crucial bit. The strategy often involves putting out an amazing offer, maybe even a loss leader. Think of free consultation, a heavily discounted first service, like a cheap cleaning or a free intro massage if you're a therapist.
Just to get them in the door, basically.
Exactly. Get their contact info, get that initial engagement. The goal isn't usually to sell your big ticket service right away in the ad.
It's about the follow-up.
Absolutely. And speed is vital. Follow up fast, ideally within 5 minutes if you can. Text, email, phone call. Just reach out with a simple question to get a response. Start a dialogue.
And then you talk about the main services.
Right. The profit usually comes later from upselling or cross-selling once you've built some rapport and they've maybe experienced that initial offer. It takes consistent effort, testing what works, and refining your process.
Are there downsides? Any big challenges mentioned for this local approach?
Yeah, a couple. If you're in a really small town, you might just run out of new people to show ads to, leading to high frequency and ads getting stale.
Ad fatigue.
Right. And the flip side, in super competitive big cities, say New York, the cost per lead can get really expensive because everyone's bidding. You might feel a bit trapped by high costs. Also, because your audience is location restricted, some advanced meta features like lookalike audiences might not work as well if your initial audience is too small.
So it's powerful, but needs thought depending on your market. And businesses can do this themselves following these steps or hire help.
Exactly. You can definitely manage this in-house using this kind of framework. Or, as the sources mentioned, you can bring in a specialized agency like Grow Club Marketing or others mentioned to handle it for you, aiming for, better results without you doing the day-to-day.
Okay, this really lays out a clear roadmap, doesn't it? From setting up the ads to that critical follow-up for local businesses using Meta.
It really does. When you put these pieces together correctly, even with the challenges, it's a very viable way to build a predictable stream of opportunities and deals locally.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Based on all this, what's that truly amazing offer, maybe even something small, that you could put out there right now just to get the potential local customers to raise their hand and connect, knowing the real long-term value comes after that first contact?